So this video recently blew up on Twitter. The caption from Stop Cop City at Joshua P. Hill: "Good God, we should abolish landlords." And we can see here, it looks like an apartment or some kind of condo, and it's absolutely trashed. I mean, there's like crap all over the walls. There's trash everywhere. It looks like somebody intentionally trashed this place as much as possible. And here we have this guy saying, "A resident decided to do this after an eviction."
How you guys doing? We love landlords.
We'll see what the rest of what he says is. "So I'm going to use the most expensive cleaner in Indianapolis and charge them for it. And if they don't pay up, it's their credit, not mine. And they won't be able to get another apartment until their debt with us is paid off." So who really got the last laugh? That's the end of the TikTok. And basically people are saying this guy is evil. They're saying he's like an evil landlord. But I think a lot of this stems from, I mean, right now there's obviously like a big kind of like socialist push online. A lot of people saying we need to abolish landlords, abolish rent. Landlords are kind of like the peak enemy, I think, in that, like, other than billionaires, at least in the eyes of a lot of like, you know, modern day socialists and communists. And basically the reason is that they charge people for rent. They own property and then charge people for living, which, you know, leftists basically think should be like a universal human right. Being able to live and eat, they think that should be paid for by the government. You shouldn't have to pay for that. It should be a right instead of something you have to earn. You can see this guy basically, you know, just cheering on the fact that somebody decided to trash this place, so he was like, well, I'm gonna f with them. But I think that, like, even if you are a leftist, you can see like this guy is not the system. He's just a small part of it. He's someone who owns land, yeah. But there's no right for a tenant to trash this place when they get evicted, right? There's absolutely no right for them to do that. This guy is someone who just like wants to run a business. He wants to make a little money for himself, maybe his family, and as a result, he owns property. I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with, you know, doing this out of spite to someone who intentionally decides to f with you, right? It's like, okay, yeah, he did evict this person, but I mean, if they weren't paying rent, what is he supposed to do? Just let them live there for free? Like, that's not a hit most people can take. Like, businesses have thin profit margins. I don't know if you guys know this, but like, it's expensive to own land. And here we have this person saying, how are you looking at this thinking to yourself, yeah, this dude is at fault? Which is what I would agree with. Now, did he go, you know, maybe a little bit far with like the spite as a result of like this person trashing this place? That's arguable. I mean, maybe personally, if I was a landlord, would I do that? Probably not. But at the same time, like, it's within his right to do that. Like, he shouldn't have to pay for the cleaning in this place when he was giving someone a place to stay. They couldn't afford it anymore, so they got evicted and they decided to trash it. Like, they have no right to do that. They have no legal right. Frankly, even outside of the law, I don't think they should have like a civil right to do that. I don't think it's cool. I think it's absolutely a trashy thing to do. Now, obviously, I'm not like a socialist or communist or anything like that, so I'm like kind of ideologically a little bit at odds with these people anyway. And I think they'd probably call me at odds with them because I don't have a huge political investment, right? I really don't. I don't have a huge like political ideology. I don't really know a ton about politics or what's going on. My basic take is just like, I just want to be able to like live my own life, and if you don't fuck with me, I won't with you. But I see a lot of these bad takes on Twitter from, you know, I mean, this tweet has 60,000 likes. Apparently 60,000 people agree with this take that landlords are evil people. And it's like, what did this person even do, right? They evicted someone who wasn't paying their rent, which is what you do when someone doesn't pay their rent. And then that person trashed the place like disgustingly, and they kind of got what was coming to them. Like, you're kind of asking for it. If they had just left, he wouldn't have done any of that. But instead they decided to trash it to make there be a big bill. And so obviously they run the risk of doing something like this, right? Actions have consequences, and I think that's something people need to, you know, accept. It's like, on one hand, if you hate landlords, that's fair enough, but there's also something called personal responsibility, right? Which is, if you decide to f with someone directly, if you decide to piss them off, then they might get pissed off and come after you. Obviously, the intent of the person trashing this place was to anger the landlord, was to anger the property manager, whoever that may be, and they got exactly what they wanted, and now that person's gonna try to f with their credit score, which is like, maybe that's deserved. If you trash a place, why would anywhere else want to rent to you? You know what I mean? Like, this is a completely valid reason, because if you evict them, they might do this. Who would want to rent to someone like this? This guy should, honestly, at the very least, inform like local, you know, landowners, property management companies of this person's behavior, because this is straight up disgusting. They trashed this person's place for what reason, right? I understand their frustration with being evicted and not having enough money, you know, to stay at that place, but at the same time, you're begging for consequences, right? You're just begging for it. And so, you know what? They wish for this person to be mad at them. You know the saying, be careful what you wish for. And if you liked this video, consider becoming a member. For $5 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts, unreleased videos, and the members-only Minecraft server. Thanks so much to all of my YouTube members who fund my content.